This is Momxiety with Sav Social, and I'm your host, Samantha. Let's get right into it before the baby wakes up. So, we have a lot to talk about. I did skip a week. I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July. We had a lot of barbecues and a lot of time outside this weekend, so we definitely enjoyed ourselves. I hope you did as well. Um, yeah, the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about is just give you a recap on everything that's going on in our lives currently. First off, the baby has been teething really bad. Um, so I've been trying to come up with new things to help soothe him rather than just running to Tylenol. Of course, sometimes that's your only option. But some new things that I've tried are celery. Just having him bite on it, he really enjoyed it. And obviously, be careful and definitely have him, have the baby supervised. But that definitely helped just calm his gums. They're very irritated. Um, and he's been going through a sleep regression last week, so he definitely had a rough week. Yeah, so that's the update on the teething. He also has been signing for me, which I'm really excited about. When he was probably like 4 months, maybe even younger, I started teaching him sign language just to give him the knowledge about it. I don't know. I feel like that's a really cool tool and helps, maybe make a child feel a little bit more included if, they have to do sign language and they, have hard of hearing. I think that's a really good skill to have. And yeah, so he just signed more the other day. And then what was the other one? He signed milk, which I was very excited about because sometimes when the baby is crying and you don't know what their specific need is, it's really cool that now he could tell me when he's hungry. Yeah, I'm really proud of him for that this week. Let's jump right into the main topic for this week, which is how each of my relationships have evolved or changed from before I had a baby versus current and after. So, the three relationships that I wanted to speak on today was friendships and family. I'm categorizing them together, marriage, and the third is with God and how it's changed so much. And I'm going to jump right into the first one, which I said was friendship and family. So, one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about in this category was how communication can, and this I guess is for all three categories, but specifically this one, I was thinking about how sometimes a friend will reach out for plans and or even just to talk on the phone and I say I'm going to call them back and I never do. Always expect 3 to 5 business days for the new moms because there's so much going on around them that within a blink of an eye, that thought has completely left their mind and now they have to go into a new mode and they completely forget that they just told you they were going to call you back. So that's a little thing that I've noticed as a new mom. A challenge would be communicating with friends and family. Another thing I wanted to talk about is making plans based on their sleep schedule. So I never wanted to be the mom that will leave a party, let's say, or like a family party or a friend, barbecue, something like that, because the baby had to go to bed. It's not that I'm, gonna make the baby stay up till 12 o'clock at night, but I think one thing I'm trying to do is with sleep training, trying to train them to sleep wherever we are. Um, it's not, like I said, it's not like I would keep the baby up obviously after their bedtime, but I think to have a baby that's a little bit more, has more of a flexible schedule or more is able to sleep anywhere, I think that's a really cool thing to, sleep train. And that's one thing that I definitely realize now, that having a sleep schedule is a great thing. However, to kind of be a little bit more flexible with exactly where they're sleeping. And another thing too, like to go along with that, is my son specifically hates the car. I don't know if any other moms are dealing with this issue right now, or if, if it's just a phase. I don't know. Hopefully he eventually, I'm assuming, will get over it, but currently he does not like the car. So anytime I make a plan, it's based off of his sleep schedule. And I feel like friends that do not have kids yet, or a family that doesn't have kids yet, might not understand that. But thank God I really do have really good friends, and they are completely understanding. Just to give you a little short story, the other day I went to the beach with a couple of friends, and we thought, I was, still in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm still that cool friend. I could just jump in the car and do whatever I want. Like, I have no responsibility. Absolutely not. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna pick you up, like, you know, trying to be all cute. And I pulled up, the baby was hysterically crying. He would not stop. And in my mind, I was like, oh, they could just sit in the back seat with him, no problem. Absolutely not. I ended up having to sit in the back with him. My friends had to sit in the front. I had a little bit of a reality check and realized that, you know, plans may change, and it's okay that I'm in this different phase in my life, I guess you would say. And it's just, definitely was a little bit of an eye opener for me that you can't just say, "Hey, let's meet here in 10 minutes." Like there's a lot that goes into leaving the house. So, definitely feel like other moms relate to this, and yeah, definitely wanted to mention that because that was a crazy day. And another thing is like even making plans on, let's say, like a Friday night. Um, your girls want to go out, and you, not that they don't realize, but you have to remember now that, like, you need a babysitter, or, you know, if my husband's not coming with me, obviously he would watch the baby. But it's just funny how there's so many things that have changed that now I have to think about when making a plan with my friends or family. So yeah, so that pretty much covers that category. I definitely want to get into marriage and how much that has changed. Let's get right into it. So my husband and I have been together this month actually for 9.5 years. We started dating in junior year of high school. He went to a different school than me, but the month that we started dating, his family was moving, and we ended up going to the same high school and graduating together. So we went to junior and senior prom together. And then after that, he joined the military, and I was, in college, but I still was home. The reason why I'm including this information is I want to give you guys more of an idea of how much our relationship has changed, but also stayed the same. And, we went through a long distance relationship for 4 years. And I feel like at the time, maybe I wasn't understanding of it, and I was upset, of course. But now looking back, it definitely has made our relationship stronger. And, when we were before all of this, we've always said we wanted to get married. So now that we're older, both of us agree that we're happy we waited, because we're adults now and we were children back then. And, we always wanted to start a family together. And one thing that I realized over this entire experience is that when I was pregnant, we were inseparable. We were like this. We got even closer than we, were as young adults, and still are young adults, but you know what I mean? Like from college to the military to now, um, we really have gotten stronger over the years. And of course, we have our ups and downs, like any relationship. Um, but I think when you have a baby with somebody, specifically, somebody that you love, obviously, you share the same nerves and anxieties, but also the happy blessings together. I remember when I first found out I was pregnant, obviously I was happy, but I was extremely nervous. And I all of a sudden had this fear, like, what was going to happen to us, you know? I never thought about that. I always said, you know, we'll be we'll be fine. But then I had that, um, like I said, fear strike my mind, and I was nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen. Is this going to push us apart? Is this going to make us closer? That it was just the the anticipation and the fear of the unknown. But I've realized that, you know, we shared the same feelings. He thought, you know, he was thinking similar things, and we definitely bonded through that. And the best thing about all of this was that after I had the baby, he stayed with me for 2 weeks straight, and we were learning things together. It was a new experience for both of us. And we always joke about all the things that we did in the beginning that we, you know, completely were just doing it because we didn't know what else to do. And yeah, so that's definitely how much our relationship has changed. You know, that's a little bit about how our relationship has changed. And even currently, now that, you know, he went back to work, of course, 2 weeks later, and we are trying to build our family and, you know, learn the new roles. I currently am staying home, and, you know, he's off at work for whatever, 8 or 9 hours a day. And that's something we have to adjust to. And, you know, just want to talk about how sometimes it can lead to not always positive things, maybe like resentment, or, you know, we feel like we both need time for ourselves when we, you know, for at the end of the day. For example, you know, like if he comes home and let's say I had a very stressful day, you know, the baby is very active and, you know, it's tiring. That's valid. And I don't even think sometimes that, not I don't think, but I have to remember that he had a full day of work as well. And now we're kind of both trying to figure it out the last few hours of the day before he goes to bed. And I'm definitely working on that. And I'm, you know, I'm sure he feels the same way, that we have to have that middle ground of, you know, taking care of the baby the last few hours together rather than just one or the other. I think now we kind of have gotten the rhythm of things, and, you know, maybe he's feeding him dinner while I'm cleaning up our dinner. Like, we definitely have a balance now, and I'm very grateful for that because, you know, we pray a lot about that to help our relationship grow, really. And that kind of leads into my third topic, which is how my relationship has evolved with God. And again, I know I always talk about this. It's something that is just in our life, and we practice this on a daily basis. So it's very hard to not talk about um, our family growing without saying the reason why. And you know, I wrote down this comment, and, you know, you can agree or not, but if you didn't believe in God before you had a baby, it's very hard to not believe once you had it for multiple reasons. One, obviously, giving birth is literally a miracle. Once you experience it, you'll understand. And it also brings situations like this also bring you closer to God because you pray more about what you're grateful for when the blessing is literally in front of you. And, you know, we talk about um, some areas that still we need guidance in, and not every day is perfect with a child, of course. So, you know, whether you're tired or, you know, frustrated, these moments are when people get closer to God. And that's pretty much how I feel currently. I mean, I always had a relationship, but it definitely has grown into, you know, a beautiful relationship. That concludes my relationships that I wanted to talk about. And there's a few other things I wanted to discuss today. We will hop right into it. So I actually wrote down a few things, a few recommendations that I really want to share with you guys. For the first category, it is slower pace shows that if if your child has does screen time, um, if you notice older shows, they are more slow paced and more relaxed and not as chaotic. And I do think that influences a child's behavior. And obviously, I'm new to all this. I don't want to sound like I know everything, but just from my experience now and what my beliefs are, and I think are going to work, I really want to try this. But when I do, when he does watch TV, here are a few of my options that I definitely recommend. So there's Minnow, which is a Bible story. I've spoke about this before. It has a lot of different characters and cartoons, I mean. Another show is Max and Ruby, Little Bear, Franklin. These are all shows that I watched when I was younger, and I feel like um, things were just made different back then. Another thing I wanted to talk about are, now that we're in summer, in the middle of summer, really, it feels like, um, I asked my followers, again, my two followers, no, I'm kidding, but I'm serious. Seriously, I asked some other moms what exactly they used for bug spray, and here are the recommendations I got. Obviously, do your own research, but these are the few that I received. So there's a brand called the Buzz Patch, Lemon Balm, Sale Ander No Bite, California Baby Bug Repellent. Those are really all the recommendations I wanted to share with you guys today. I also wanted to talk a little bit about something that is going on currently in my life. I am going to be going on my first trip without the baby, and I'm not going to lie, I'm very excited about it, but I'm so nervous. I have probably thought of every horrible scenario that can happen, which is not a good thing to do. But if anybody else feels the same way, please let me know and tell me what you did to calm down, because I I know I had the option to not go, of course, but um it's something to do with family and I really wanted to be a part of it. However, I'm very nervous, and if anybody has any recommendations on how to not be scared, I don't know. How old were you guys when, you know, or if you haven't already, what age would you say is a good time to not be with your kids? I mean, it's only 3 days, but I feel like that's a lifetime. I'm with him 24/7, so it's very hard for me to not be worried about this. It's not like he's going to be with random people, he'll be with his father. But it still scares me. Yeah, so that is definitely something weighing on my mind right now, and I just had to share. I mean, he's about to be 1 years old, so I mean, he's not little still, and you can kind of he has a pretty good schedule at this point, so my husband will have no issue, but definitely definitely a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. And yeah, so just wanted to share that. And the next thing I wanted to talk about, and of course I didn't write it down, so now I'm just give me a minute. That's right, I remember what it was. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, just to end this episode, I just want to leave you guys with the recalls for baby food lately, for anything to do with children, is actually getting disturbing. Um, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I give the baby these little puffs to snack on, and literally the week after we came back from vacation, which is when he had them frequently, they sent out that there was a recall on these products with lead and heavy metals. I don't know what is going on. It's very scary. Honestly, make your own food. Like, this is like, not even make your own food. You need to like grow your own food, because it's so scary that all these things are coming out. And I don't know if anyone saw that Costco wipes. I don't know if I was talking about this with my mom. I don't know if they're either more strict now with their testing, or if this has always been a thing and now new products are coming out and they're just having these things in them and now they're getting recalled. I don't know what the case is, but I even just saw that tampons, I don't know if it's certain ones, again have these heavy metals and they're getting recalled. And I'm like, is somebody going to do something about this? It's just very scary. And I just recommend really like to do your research, because I know when he was first starting solids, I was giving him jarred food. Then obviously, that lasted like a week, honestly, because someone said something to me and was like, you really should watch. And I didn't even think, why would you think that a child's food would have that in it? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is not to scare anybody or anything like that, but really you should do your own research. And if you're planning to give the baby any, solids that aren't made by you, definitely do your research. And for example, I give the baby, I just actually started doing homemade pouches. They're like a silicone material, so easy to wash. But I definitely, um, if we're in a rush or, it's a long day, I mentioned this before, I use Once Upon a Farm because they're refrigerated. So I feel like it has to have less preservatives. And really, if you have the time to make your own stuff, definitely do that. I know I've been trying so many new foods with him. Obviously, I'm home with him, so it's a little bit not easy. It is easier, I guess. That I have the time to be doing these things, and that's what my energy is focused on. So I definitely, would recommend to just carve time out of your day to really make their food, because this is crazy. But I definitely wanted to get, probably, I'm thinking next episode, I kind of wanted to focus more on that kind of stuff. But I definitely wanted to introduce it today because there's so many things coming out now, and it's good to know. I mean, I only learned this stuff from social media. It's not like I got something in the mail saying, I saw you purchase this and this was recalled. You know, I was unaware of this until I saw it online. And obviously, then once I saw it online, I pulled up articles because obviously I'm not going to believe everything I see on the internet, but or from social media is what I mean. And hopefully this stuff doesn't happen anymore, but I don't know. Very scary. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you guys again for listening to Momxiety. I cannot wait to speak to you next time. And probably the next time you'll talk to me, I'll be in full blown anxiety attack because I leave for my trip next week. But I will talk to you during the next nap. See ya!